1892. In the small frontier town of Lubbock, Texas, an even smaller group of just 12 Christian pioneers has a dream: to plant the first United Methodist Church in Lubbock. And despite their vision, they have no idea just how much that little church plant will grow. 60 years later, with thousands of new members, that little church has grown so much that they have to initiate 2 Sunday morning worship services just to accommodate everyone who wants to attend. It will soon become clear that their building needs to grow with the church. Can you imagine the excitement in the air that sunny Sunday in March 1955 when the congregation marched from the old sanctuary to the beautiful new Cathedral of the West? Resplendent with the famous rose window and Forest Memorial pipe organ, the little church planted by those Christian pioneers has truly begun to bloom. Yet another 50 years passes, and a mature church with deep, strong roots and a legacy of much good fruit joyfully opens the doors to a new Christian Life Center, which will quickly live up to its name. With this state-of-the-art facility, the First United Methodist Church in Lubbock is setting the stage for their next generation of life-changing ministry. Today, just a few years later, First United Methodist continues to be a growing and dynamic Christian community. With hundreds of people attending 4 Sunday services and thousands more joining in through a television ministry now almost 35 years old, this church has come a long way from its humble beginnings over a century ago. Every week, the ministries of our church continue to touch people of every age through Sunday school, Bible studies, music, and outreach. And as surely as our historical church has become a fixture of the Lubbock landscape, First Church has faithfully continued to produce good fruit in people's lives.
It just seemed like it's just carried on from one generation to the next. Like she said, her parents were active in this church, and it's just been a real blessing to our whole family.
During the difficult time in my life, the church was a constant. I knew this building, these people, this church, my God, was always here to meet me.
I came back to this church in 1982, fresh in recovery from a serious bout with alcoholism. And it was absolutely remarkable the way this church embraced me. When I came back in, it was like the living embodiment of the Father in the parable of the prodigal son.
This church has been faithful through the years and has impacted my life and gave me a great deal more understanding than I would have had.
I have found things in Scripture I never knew were there, and have applied things to my life in a way that I never thought was possible, just didn't recognize, couldn't have ever found on my own.
The more I learned, the more I wanted to learn, and the more I wanted to change. It's made my heartache and the difficult things in my life more manageable.
The church has opened up the dialogue with my faith and with God that I don't think would have happened if it wouldn't have been me going into that spiritual formation group.
Both of our children have grown up in the folds of this church, and I'm telling you, their lives were changed.
We've just been so blessed here. The kids learn so much and have so much fun. To them, coming to church on Sunday isn't an obligation. It's like a reward that they start the week with.
When they sing songs during Sunday school, that's the first thing we do is we go across the hall and we sing songs, and she'll be singing songs in the car throughout the week. It's a really positive impact.
This youth ministry has definitely built leadership qualities on how to reach out to kids who don't know who Christ is and are looking for that. And I'd say that's something that if I hadn't been here, I probably would not have. Every aspect of this church has paid off in my life, for sure.
Life can be hard. Life is tough for everyone. And there are times when you really need folks that you can just talk to. And those people are here.
When my mom passed away from cancer, back in March of this year. It was just 3 days after she passed away that I came here before we even had a funeral. So I was wanting to come back and be with friends, and that was the amazing thing, that I wasn't wanting to hide or anything like that, because I knew this is where I was going to feel the love, and it was true.
We went through a very difficult time in losing a son, something that you never want to ever have to deal with. And it has been very valuable to have the love and support of all the people in this church. And we had found a group that really has stayed loving to us and caring for us.
In the deepest parts of my heart, God blesses me through my friends and through the ministry in this church.
About 5 years ago, I became disabled and was not able to get to the church. But the first Sunday that I couldn't walk, we turned on the TV and we watched First United Methodist Church. Boy, that's meaningful because of the fact that it gives my wife and I the ability to participate in a worship service that we wouldn't have any other way.
It was the people at First United Methodist Church who came out and worked on this house. You never know how much this has affected me, how much this has affected my children as they grow older. Without First United putting us up, we wouldn't have had this opportunity. We may have never had this opportunity.
It may be hard to believe, but even with such a storied and fruitful history, still greater things are waiting on us. Generations of ministry lie ahead. New growth, new dreams, new ministries, stronger ministries, all reaching further than anything we've seen before. But tomorrow's fruit must be planted today. Tomorrow's shade tended today.
The Greater Things campaign is so well named to me because it's not just a capital campaign. It's a campaign for this congregation, this church, to do greater things than we're doing now, greater things than we've done in the past, and greater things than we can imagine.
It's much bigger than the building itself. Of course, the building does have to be taken care of, but we also know if we can retire the debt, then we've got that money that we're paying on that where we can develop new programs and make us more viable as a downtown church for the next 30 to 50 years or even more than that.
We have been so blessed with the vision and the faithful stewardship of those generations that came before us. So we need to take care of our financial obligations of the debt and of the maintenance and repair on this building so that we can move forward in ministry to our community and to our world. We cannot outgive God. We've trusted our eternal lives to Him. We can trust our financial resources.
With more than 100 years of fruitful ministry behind us, today we fix our eyes ahead toward new horizons of ministry and mission. Let us move forward with the vision and faithfulness of those that came before us. And together, let us plant the seeds and tend the trees that will produce the First United Methodist Church of tomorrow.